The vast darkness of space stretched out like an infinite canvas, punctuated by the cold, metallic glint of human observation platforms. Captain Juno Park stood motionless, his reflection barely visible against the reinforced glass of the International Space Research Station's command center. His dark eyes tracked the flickering holographic displays, each pulse of light revealing something unprecedented. Dr. Yuna Kim adjusted her monitoring equipment, her fingers moving with practiced precision across the quantum-sensitive touchscreens. The room hummed with a quiet tension that spoke of something extraordinary about to unfold. Strange electromagnetic signatures were dancing across their scanners, signatures that definitely did not originate from any known human technology. "We have an unidentified object," Juno muttered, more to himself than to anyone else in the room. The object moved with an unsettling intelligence, its trajectory calculated and deliberate. It wasn't tumbling or drifting like typical space debris. This thing was navigating, scanning, probing. Yuna leaned closer to her screen, her breath catching in her throat. "It's mapping our orbital infrastructure," she whispered, a hint of professional excitement mixing with an underlying current of concern. The alien reconnaissance probe was methodically scanning every human installation, collecting data with a precision that suggested advanced technological capabilities far beyond current human understanding. The probe itself was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its design defied conventional geometric principles, sleek yet asymmetrical, with surfaces that seemed to shift and ripple even when stationary. Multiple sensor arrays extended from its main body like delicate metallic tendrils, each one capable of capturing microscopic details about human technological infrastructure. Behind the scenes, global defense networks were already awakening. Satellite systems recalibrated, communication protocols shifted into heightened alert modes, and military research facilities began mobilizing their most advanced response teams. Humanity might appear divided on the surface, but when an external threat emerged, the species had a remarkable ability to unite. Juno understood this better than most. His military background combined with his current scientific role gave him a unique perspective. He had seen how quickly humans could adapt, how rapidly they could transform theoretical possibilities into practical solutions. This alien probe might be gathering information, but humanity was already several strategic steps ahead. "Are they aware we've detected them?" Juno asked, his voice calm and measured. Yuna shook her head. "Negative. Our detection systems are using quantum-encrypted scanning techniques. They believe they're unobserved." A slight smile crossed Juno's face. The aliens were about to learn a crucial lesson about human ingenuity. The probe continued its systematic sweep, its advanced sensors penetrating layers of human technological defenses. It recorded orbital satellite configurations, mapped communication network strengths, and attempted to gauge military preparedness. What it couldn't know was the comprehensive global coordination happening beneath the surface. Research laboratories in Tokyo, Silicon Valley tech companies, military think tanks in Washington, and advanced research centers in Berlin were all simultaneously analyzing the incoming data. Every fragment of information about the alien probe was being processed, studied, and integrated into a comprehensive understanding. Juno watched as complex algorithms began constructing predictive models. Machine learning systems were already generating potential scenarios, calculating response strategies, and identifying potential vulnerabilities and strengths. Humanity's collective intelligence was rapidly transforming potential threat into strategic opportunity. The alien probe, oblivious to the human preparations, continued its methodical data collection. Its creators had likely assumed it would provide a comprehensive overview of Earth's technological landscape. They were about to be surprised. Dr. Kim's screen suddenly flickered with a burst of coded information. "Captain," she said, her voice steady, but charged with anticipation. "Our preliminary analysis suggests this probe is just the first wave of a much larger reconnaissance mission." Chunho nodded, his military training kicking in. First contact scenarios had been theoretically discussed for decades, but now they were transitioning from academic speculation to immediate practical reality. "They think we're unprepared," Junho murmured, more to himself than to Yuna. They think we're vulnerable. Little did the alien reconnaissance mission know that humanity had been preparing for this moment for far longer than they could imagine. Every technological advancement, every scientific breakthrough, every global collaborative effort had been unconsciously preparing the species for this exact moment. The alien probe continued its silent journey, unaware that its every movement was being tracked, analyzed, and already being used to construct humanity's initial response. The game of interstellar reconnaissance had begun, and humanity was ready. As the probe completed its first orbital sweep, something unexpected happened. For a fraction of a second, its systems experienced a microscopic perturbation, so small it would be imperceptible to its distant controllers. But for those who were watching closely, it was the first signal that humanity's response had already begun. The darkness of space held its breath, waiting for what would come next. The communication room buzzed with an electric tension as the alien transmission materialized on the massive holographic display. Lieutenant David Rodriguez studied the message, its cold mechanical language demanding absolute planetary surrender. Strange symbols and geometric patterns flickered between lines of text, revealing an advanced but impersonal communication protocol. Rodriguez's team watched in silence. Researchers, military strategists, and communication experts surrounded him, their collective breath suspended between anticipation and calculated resolve. The message was clear. Humanity had two choices: surrender or face total destruction. But Rodriguez wasn't intimidated. His fingers moved across quantum encryption panels, each touch generating complex defensive algorithms. Years of training, technological development, and global collaborative research had prepared humanity for precisely this moment. "Transmission prepared," whispered technical sergeant Elena Martinez, her fingers hovering over the quantum communication array. Rodriguez's response was short, direct, and unequivocal. "We do not recognize your authority. Earth remains sovereign." The alien fleet, likely expecting immediate capitulation, seemed momentarily confused by the human response. Their technological systems, designed for quick planetary subjugation, had not anticipated such immediate resistance. Within minutes, the first wave of attack began. Massive energy beams sliced through the darkness of space, targeting Earth's orbital defense platforms. These platforms, a network of interconnected satellites and defensive stations, represented humanity's first line of technological protection. The initial assault was brutal and precise. Alien weaponry, operating on principles barely understood by human scientists, struck with incredible power. Multiple platforms shuddered under the immense energy discharge, their protective shields flickering like dying electrical circuits. But something unexpected happened. Instead of total destruction, the platforms absorbed and redistributed the alien energy. Advanced quantum adaptive shields, developed through years of theoretical research and practical engineering, began transforming destructive energy into defensive potential. Rodriguez watched the tactical displays, his heart racing but his movements calm and calculated. Each alien strike was being analyzed, its energy signature mapped, its technological principles decoded in real time. Defensive protocols activated, announced a computer system, its voice calm against the backdrop of intense conflict. The orbital platforms, far from being defenseless, started responding. Precision laser systems, quantum entanglement weapons, and advanced electromagnetic pulse generators came online. These were not mere defensive tools but intelligent, adaptive systems capable of learning and responding to alien technological patterns. Across the Global Defense Coordination Center, screens displayed the unfolding conflict. Scientists, military personnel, and technological experts worked in perfect synchronization. Every data point, every energy signature was being processed, understood, and transformed into strategic advantage. The alien fleet, expecting a quick victory, found themselves engaged in an unexpectedly complex battlefield. Human defensive systems didn't just resist, They adapted, learned, and began to counterattack with increasing sophistication. Sergeant Martinez tracked the alien weapon systems, her fingers dancing across complex holographic interfaces. "Their technology is advanced," she muttered, "but not invincible." Rodriguez understood the deeper strategy. This wasn't just about defending Earth. It was about sending a message. Humanity would not be an easy conquest. Every defensive action was a statement of collective human resilience and technological potential. The orbital platforms, initially appearing fragile, revealed their true nature. Designed with modular, self-repairing technologies, they could redistribute damage, redirect energy, and maintain structural integrity under extreme conditions. As the first wave of attacks concluded, something became abundantly clear. The aliens had drastically underestimated human technological capabilities. What they perceived as a primitive planetary civilization was proving to be a complex, adaptive, and surprisingly resilient technological ecosystem. Rodriguez allowed himself a small smile. The first confrontation was complete, and humanity had not just survived. They had made a profound statement about their place in the cosmic landscape. The alien fleet retreated, leaving behind a network of damaged but functional human orbital platforms. They would return, of that Rodriguez was certain. But they would return knowing that Earth was not a simple target. It was a complex, unpredictable technological civilization ready to defend itself. As silence returned to the communication room, the real work of understanding and preparing for the next confrontation began. Humanity's first interstellar conflict had just begun, and the stakes could not be higher. Deep within a secure research facility nestled in the mountains of South Korea, Dr. Sung Park stood before a complex array of quantum computing systems. His eyes, sharp and focused, reflected the soft blue glow of holographic displays, dancing with impossible mathematical equations. Years of research, countless sleepless nights, and an unbreakable determination had led to this moment. The quantum disruption device looked deceptively simple, a metallic cylinder no larger than a standard laptop, with intricate quantum-sensitive circuitry embedded within its core. But Dr. Park knew this was no ordinary piece of technology. This was humanity's potential salvation. "Neural network disruptor," he whispered to himself, running his fingers along the device's smooth surface. Traditional weapons destroyed physical structures, but this would attack the very consciousness of technological systems. His research team watched in absolute silence. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a computational neurologist, leaned forward with intense concentration. Her background in artificial intelligence and quantum mechanics made her uniquely qualified to understand the potential of Park's breakthrough. "The principle is simple yet complex," Park explained to his team. "Quantum entanglement allows instantaneous communication between particles. Our device will introduce a deliberate quantum interference that will cascade through interconnected technological systems." The alien ships they had encountered didn't just use traditional communication methods. Their technological infrastructure was built on quantum principles far more advanced than human understanding. Park's device would exploit the very foundation of their technological superiority. Initial simulations had been promising. Computer models showed complete systemic collapse within microseconds of quantum interference, but simulations and real-world application were two entirely different challenges. The first test would be critical. A specially designed satellite would serve as the delivery mechanism. Positioned strategically near the predicted alien fleet's route, it would act as a quantum transmission point. One precise burst of engineered quantum disruption could potentially neutralize entire technological networks. Dr. Rodriguez input the final coordinates. Her fingers moved with surgical precision, each touch calibrating complex quantum algorithms. The team held their collective breath. "Transmission in 3, 2, 1, she announced. The quantum disruption pulse traveled faster than light, an invisible wave of technological destruction. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, gradually, something extraordinary began to unfold. Alien ships, moments ago displaying incredible technological sophistication, started to malfunction. Their advanced navigation systems flickered and died. Propulsion mechanisms collapsed. Communication networks disintegrated into random, meaningless signals. Like insects suddenly paralyzed, massive alien vessels began dropping from the sky. Their quantum-based technological infrastructure, once considered invincible, had been completely neutralized by a device smaller than a briefcase. It worked, Park whispered, hardly believing the data streaming across his monitors. The implications were staggering. Humanity had just demonstrated the ability to neutralize a technologically superior alien fleet without firing a single traditional weapon. No explosions, no physical destruction, just a precise quantum interference that rendered entire technological systems completely useless. Across global defense networks, scientists and military strategists watched in awe. This was more than a weapon. This was a fundamental shift in interstellar conflict dynamics. Dr. Rodriguez began analyzing the cascading effects. The quantum disruption hadn't just disabled individual ships. It had created a systemic collapse that would take the alien civilization significant time to understand and potentially overcome. They won't be able to simply repair this, she explained to her colleagues. We've attacked their technological foundation. It's like destroying the basic language their technology uses to communicate and function. Park nodded, understanding the profound nature of their breakthrough. This wasn't just about defending Earth anymore. This was about establishing humanity's technological credibility on an interstellar stage. As alien ships continued to fall, a new chapter in human technological history was being written. No longer would humanity be seen as a primitive civilization. They had just demonstrated an ability to neutralize technological superiority through innovative scientific understanding. The quantum disruption device sat quietly on its testing platform, looking almost innocent. But Dr. Park knew better. This small device represented humanity's most significant technological leap, a weapon that didn't destroy, but fundamentally transformed the very nature of technological interaction. The first battle was won, but the war was just beginning. The communications center hummed with an electric intensity that felt both dangerous and calculated. Elena Rodriguez stood before a massive holographic display, her fingers dancing across quantum communication interfaces that most humans couldn't even comprehend. Information was a weapon, and she was its master strategist. The alien communication networks, intricate, complex webs of quantum-encrypted channels, had become unexpectedly vulnerable. Each transmission Elena crafted was designed with surgical precision, introducing subtle narrative threads that would unravel the alien civilization's internal structures. Her team consisted of linguists, psychologists, communication experts, and advanced AI systems. Together, they were designing psychological narratives that would penetrate alien understanding faster than any physical weapon. We're not just sending messages, Elena explained to her core team. We're constructing a perception. The first strategic disinformation campaign targeted the alien leadership's fundamental understanding of humanity. Reports were carefully constructed showing human technological capabilities that were partially true, partially exaggerated. Each transmission suggested humanity possessed technologies far beyond their current capabilities. Alien communication networks began experiencing strange disruptions. Rumors spread about human quantum weapons that could instantly neutralize entire technological infrastructures. Strategic reports suggested humans could potentially track and disable any alien technological system within milliseconds. These weren't just messages. They were psychological daggers. The alien leadership structures, previously confident and methodical, started showing signs of internal fracture. Debate forums within their communication networks became increasingly paranoid. Decision-making processes flowed as different alien factions argued about the potential human threat. Dr. Sohn Park's quantum disruption technology had already demonstrated humanity's unexpected capabilities. Now, Elena was ensuring that every alien communication channel amplified that demonstration into something more profound, a legend of human technological unpredictability. Sophisticated AI systems helped craft these narratives. They analyzed alien communication patterns, understanding cultural nuances, and introducing precisely calibrated psychological pressures. Each message was a carefully constructed psychological weapon. Some transmissions suggested humans had multiple secret technological projects. Others implied global human cooperation that made their civilization extraordinarily adaptable. The goal wasn't just to create fear, but to introduce systematic uncertainty. Uncertainty is more destructive than direct conflict, Elena would often tell her team. Within weeks, alien communication networks transformed. What was once a confident, structured communication system became a maze of rumors, counter-rumors, and increasing paranoia. Leadership structures began questioning every technological assumption. The human disinformation campaign worked on multiple levels. It didn't just target current alien leadership. It introduced long-term psychological doubt about humanity's potential and capabilities. Reports began circulating about human experiments in quantum communication, artificial intelligence, and technological adaptation that were completely fictional. But they were constructed with such scientific authenticity that they became believable. Alien research teams started investing massive resources in understanding these potential human technologies. Resources that would have been used for invasion were now redirected into defensive research and internal investigations. Fear became humanity's most sophisticated weapon. The psychological warfare wasn't about direct confrontation. It was about creating a narrative so complex, so potentially dangerous, that direct conflict became unappealing. Humanity was transforming from a potential conquest target to an unpredictable, potentially catastrophic engagement. Elena watched the holographic displays, tracking the cascading psychological impact. Each transmission was like a carefully placed domino, designed to create maximum systematic disruption. Her team worked in perfect synchronization. Linguists crafted message nuances, psychologists analyzed potential alien emotional responses, and AI systems calculated transmission strategies with mathematical precision. The alien civilization was experiencing something unprecedented. A psychological attack that didn't involve traditional weapons, but targeted their fundamental understanding of technological and cultural superiority. As alien communication networks became increasingly fragmented, humanity's reputation transformed. No longer were they a primitive species to be conquered. They had become an unknown, potentially apocalyptic technological force, and Elena Rodriguez had orchestrated every moment of this transformation. The psychological war had begun, and humanity was winning, not through physical force, but through the most powerful weapon of all: strategic, calculated information. The vast darkness of space stretched out like an infinite canvas, punctuated by the silent retreat of alien vessels. Juno Park stood motionless in the Earth's interstellar diplomatic corps command center, his eyes tracking the long-range scanners with a mixture of calm determination and profound understanding. Weeks of psychological warfare, technological innovation, and strategic planning had culminated in this moment. The alien fleet that had once threatened planetary destruction now moved with a desperate, fragmented uncertainty. Their once cohesive formations had dissolved into scattered, confused groups of ships. Dr. Elena Rodriguez entered the command center, her steps measured and confident. The quantum disruption technologies developed by her team, combined with the psychological warfare strategies, had fundamentally transformed the potential conflict. "They're running," she said quietly, her voice carrying the weight of scientific triumph. Shunho nodded. The retreat wasn't just a military withdrawal. It represented a complete collapse of the alien civilization's strategic confidence. Their technological superiority had been systematically dismantled, not through traditional warfare, but through intelligent, calculated human innovation. Global communication networks buzzed with a mixture of relief and excitement. Humanity had not just defended itself. It had established a new paradigm of interstellar interaction. No longer would extraterrestrial civilizations view Earth as a simple, conquerable planet. The alien vessels moved with increasing desperation. Their communication networks, once robust and confident, now resembled fragmented, panic transmissions. The psychological warfare had done its work perfectly, introducing doubt, fear, and systematic uncertainty into their leadership structures. Juno reflected on the journey. From the first detection of the alien reconnaissance probe to this moment of decisive conclusion, humanity had demonstrated an unprecedented capacity for adaptation, innovation, and strategic thinking. Military analysts began compiling initial reports. The conflict had revealed extraordinary insights into human potential. Quantum technologies, advanced communication strategies, and a collective global response had transformed what could have been a devastating invasion into a remarkable demonstration of human resilience. "Scanning complete," announced the computer system. "Alien fleet movement confirms total retreat." Dr. Rodriguez pulled up holographic displays showing the retreating alien vessels. Their technological systems still showed signs of the quantum disruption. Entire communication networks remained partially disabled. Navigation systems struggled to maintain coherent trajectories. Juno watched the final alien vessels disappear from scanner range. The silence was profound, filled with the weight of a civilization that had chosen strategic withdrawal over total destruction. "We are no longer alone," he said quietly, more to himself than to anyone else in the room. "And we are definitely not weak." The words carried a deeper meaning. This wasn't just about a single conflict. This was about humanity's first true interstellar engagement, a moment that would be remembered as a turning point in human history. Global celebrations erupted. Research facilities, military installations, and civilian populations understood the profound significance of this moment. Humanity had faced a technologically superior alien threat, and not just survived. They had fundamentally transformed the potential of first contact. Juno Park knew this was just the beginning. The technologies developed, the strategic insights gained, the global cooperation demonstrated. These would reshape humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. As the last alien vessel disappeared from long-range scanners, a new chapter in human history began. No longer would they be seen as a vulnerable, primitive species. They had become something else entirely, an unpredictable, innovative civilization, ready to engage with the broader cosmic community. The universe had just learned an important lesson about humanity. They were here, they were prepared, and they were not to be underestimated. The end.